Hello, this is John. Another walk session. I just got home. I'm a little hungry after work, but I'm going to walk first. See if we can talk about something for about 8 minutes. I was thinking about how to keep everything happy all the time, and at least in the video, and I don't know if I can do that all the time. And I watched on the way home something about Mr. Rogers, listened to it actually, and it strikes me as he was pretty impressive in terms of keeping things simple, keeping things kind of even keeled and happy. I mean, he talked on some serious subjects on his show like death, and there was a statement he made that we should be able to talk about, how did he say it, emotions, and I don't know how he said it, but it was brilliant. Like, we need to be able to talk about mental health, and when we can talk about our emotions and talk about our thoughts and feelings and realize there's a way to engage each other and process it without having to fight or yell or harm people. I work in mental health, and you would think I'd know how to do just about anything, and I don't. I struggle with anxiety. I struggle just like anyone else. I think we all do, and one of the things that's difficult at work is seeing how many people are struggling these days, and right now it seems like, and I can't do the math statistically because I don't have access to everything that's available at the community mental health clinic, but it looks like the severity of mental health is it's just more intense, and more people are suffering in greater degrees, and maybe that's not true. And when we look at everybody as a whole, because during COVID we've had examples of people stepping up and doing okay comparatively, but there is a segment of society that is just struggling to just keep up. And when I think of playing Monopoly, if you consider the game of Monopoly, and we play straight by the rules and don't let any deviations or kindness, as the game progresses over time, people fall out. And when you fall out, it's unrecoverable. And we as a society don't have enough safeguards in place to keep people in the game or to help them recover from zero. And that's the people that come to community mental health. And that's not the only ones. There's a lack of mental health professionals. There's a lack of counselors, insufficient number of counselors. There's an insufficient number of psychiatrists. And so if you lose your psychiatrist, maybe you come to a mental health clinic because that's the only game in town that will help keep you on your medication. I don't know, it's a big problem. And one of the things I do well, I think, is compartmentalize. And as a counselor, I have to be able to do that, because when I go from one client that delivers a whole bunch of, I don't know, trauma and the things that they struggle and just everything that someone can bring you, you can't imagine the stuff that they can bring you. I need to be able to put that in a box, and at the end of the session, let them go and bring in the next person. And sometimes there's back-to-back clients. Sometimes it's okay. Like, you get good days where maybe not that many came into the clinic. driving home the hour ride home is also part of my compartmentalization thing, in terms of usually by the time I've gone through traffic and listened to either a podcast or a song, I'm usually relaxed. I rarely bring things home that last more than me getting out of the car, because once I get out of the car, it's time to go do my nightly thing. Never brought stuff home to the family, and most of the time that was just stuff that stayed at the office. When I worked with kids, that was less so. I had to stop working with kids mostly because of transference, that I'd see things that would remind me of my own stuff, and like twice I went into the boss's office and just cried. So I told them, no more kids. Kids are tough, and half the time I think it's like, if you could just fix the parents, the kids would straighten up. And most people don't want to hear that they're participating in this problem. But interesting, when I was counseling at the church that I volunteered at when I was first getting my hours to practice as a counselor, the times that I had the two adults in the room, if I got them on target or on point, and they felt better, the kids lined up and did better every single time. Going the other way, working with the kids first, even if I gained some ground in terms of helping that person in that moment, I'd come back next week only to find that they've been reset by the family, because they tend to follow the lead of the family. So, and that's not an indictment on families. We all struggle, and we all struggle in different ways, but that stuff rolls downhill, and kids get the worst of it. So, what is this? This is not a complaint. I'm grateful for my job. I love working with the people that I work with, and I mean the colleagues, the people at the office, everyone. I love working with my people, and I love the clients. If I can make one laugh, I feel like I've gotten something, because sometimes, Buck, you can cry so much that you can twist it really easy with the right joke at the right time, usually inappropriate, and it just spins it around, and they'll laugh. So, like, I'll say something stupid like, "Don't worry about crying. I get paid by the tears, and just collect them in those tissues there," and that usually gets a laugh. Because you'd be surprised how many people apologize for crying in my office, and I'm like, that's what this office is for. We're, as a species, as a people, as a culture, I don't know, we're afraid to show weakness. And maybe that's why I'm doing this video. Is one of the things that I do to relieve my own stress is walk. I can't tell you this is going to work because I haven't walked enough. but tune in 400 episodes from now, and we'll see if I'm doing better. But I do have ways of dealing with stress, and I have good friends. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for this opportunity to share this, even though it's not as positive as I want. But when I first started this, I was going for 1%. So we're striving for 1% better, marginally motivational, maybe. This too is another first walk. One step at a time. Start where you are. Do what you can. And don't give up. Be well.